Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Liz, I'm the face behind Plant Presence, and today we're going to talk about basically the beginner's guide to plant-based food groups. Not all foods are created alike, nor are they treated the same in your body. Some are plentiful sources of certain vitamins or minerals. Some foods have more protein or fat or carbohydrates than others. Different foods have different impacts on your body, and others help your body with certain functions like digestion or circulation. Starting to understand where you can find those nutrients in your food, what food sources those nutrients come from, is going to be helpful for you in being able to plan a healthy diet for yourself. So we're going to talk a little bit about what food groups are important for what body functions and nutrients. Let's get started. First, let's talk about vegetables. Vegetables aren't just the foundation of a plant-based diet, but they are also a really important source of fiber, of vitamins and minerals, as well as phytonutrients. There are two types of vegetables. There are the non-starchy vegetables, and then there are the starchy vegetables. Non-starchy vegetables are super important for your diet. They are generally low in calories, but they are high in micronutrients like vitamins and minerals, and are full of fiber. Anything that's green and leafy, that would be a non-starchy vegetable. Then you've got your cruciferous vegetables like cabbage, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and then you've got a lot of other non-starchy vegetables like peppers, zucchini, onions, vegetables like mushrooms that are a little hard to categorize but fall into the non-starchy vegetable category. That brings us to starchy vegetables. Starchy vegetables are important because they are full of carbohydrates, which are our primary source of energy, and they're also full of micronutrients. Starchy vegetables include your root and tuber vegetables like potatoes or yams, a wide variety of squashes, and other vegetables like corn and peas. Fruits are a bit more straightforward. You've got your berries, your citrus fruits, your stone fruits. Basically, they're all good for you. They all have lots of micronutrients, fiber, and water, which all do great things for your health. Ideally, you want about half of your diet, or about 50% of what you eat or put on your plate, to be fruits and vegetables. Now let's talk about grains, specifically whole grains. Whole grains are important because they are an important source of carbohydrates that are going to give you lasting energy, and they also are a great source of micronutrients like vitamins and minerals. They're also an important source of fiber, and they're valuable for your gut health. Look for whole wheat, like whole wheat bread or pasta, brown rice instead of white rice. Now let's talk about legumes. Legumes are an incredibly important food to the plant-based diet. Beyond being a rich source of plant-based protein, legumes are also a fabulous source of fiber, iron, as well as other important micronutrients. To add more legumes in your diet, you can eat any variety of beans. Lentils, peas, and chickpeas all fall in the legume family. The legume family also includes tofu, tempeh, or soy milks. Now let's talk about nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds are an important part of the plant-based diet because they provide a really healthy source of fats, proteins, as well as other essential micronutrients. When I want to add more nuts and seeds into my diet, I tend to reach for walnuts, cashews, pecans, almonds, all great sources of healthy fats and protein. Nuts and seed butters are also great sources of the same micronutrients. Just make sure to look out for extra sugar, salt, or oils that get added to nut and seed butters. Finally, no dish would be complete without adding some herbs and spices. Not only do herbs and spices add flavor to your food, but they also contain a surprisingly large amount of phytonutrients, or those helpful plant compounds that actually benefit your health in many different ways. I think it's important to talk about plant-based food groups because it's a reminder that different foods have different impacts on your body. For example, if I am feeling a little off, like my digestion is feeling a little off, I tend to reach foods that have more water in them, like fruits, because I know that that is going to help to soothe my digestion by helping to move things along. I think that learning to include a healthy amount of foods from each of these food groups is a really important first step in learning how to build a balanced and nutrient-rich diet. Thank you for watching, and as always, thank you for planting your presence with me here today. Bye, guys.